Hi, it's Paula with How to Be an Artist. Today's topic is overcoming negativity. We've all woken up in the morning and thought, what the fuck am I doing? Nobody cares about my art. Everything sucks. I have no money in the bank. I should have been a dentist. We all go through that. Sometimes it's really bad and we don't get out of bed at all, and we lie in bed for a week feeling crappy, feeling sorry for ourselves. You know what I'm talking about. If you clicked on this video, then you're probably desperately in need of some tips to help you overcome that feeling of negativity, which is not helping you at all. It's not serving your art. It's not getting you anywhere. So I do have some tips for you today. My number one tip for overcoming negativity is to remember that change happens on a dime. At any moment you could get that call from the agent you put your stuff out to. You could have some kind of success that would totally change your mood. So what I recommend to people is when you're feeling like, get out a piece of paper and write down 5 positive things that could happen that would make you feel better. So for me, it would be, a publisher wants to publish my children's book, Kojak, or a music supervisor gets back to us and wants to buy one of our songs for a commercial. Somebody wants to digitize my feature film for free so I can finally get it on iTunes. Those kinds of things that are realistic things, but maybe haven't happened yet. And I'm not saying set up an action plan to do these things. You're too depressed for that. I'm saying just think of those things and have that lift your spirit, because it's really true that things can change on a dime. And when you listen to the success stories of other people, usually it involves, something that happened really quickly, and before they knew it, they were catapulted into a different world, a different space where, they could quit their job, they could get out of bed. So keep that in mind. And on that note, that is my number 2, is look at other people's success stories, because when you're in a bad place, there's a lot of people who will say things like, well, you got to pay your dues as an artist. Fuck that. You so don't have to pay your dues. There's lots of people who don't pay dues at all. And in fact, dues really have nothing to do with it. However, when you've been slogging it out for 20 odd years, you feel like perhaps you are owed something from the universe or from your industry. And that's a hard feeling to knock. So when you look at people who have succeeded, and the press always likes to make it seem like these people are an overnight success. Ooh, overnight success. Well, if you dig a little deeper into these people's stories, usually it was 20 odd years plus one overnight, and then they became a success. So make yourself feel better with all those, the J.K. Rowling and the Stephanie, whatever her name is, who wrote the Twilight books, and people who submitted to dozens and dozens and dozens, sometimes hundreds of places and publishers and recording studios, whatever places that they're trying to get to sell their art before it actually happened. And then you can see that you don't need to give up, and you can find that space of positivity for yourself by seeing how long some other people had to wait. My third tip is to examine your relationships with the people that either your friends or the people who you talk shop with. Sometimes it's those same people that are like, well, you gotta pay your dues, or like, if you're going out for coffee with a friend and you sit around talking for an hour and a half about how hard it is, it's so hard, nobody ever gets back to you, and you know, it's impossible to be a female director in the man's world and all the, I mean, God knows I've totally said all those things in my life, but it's ultimately soul sucking and it doesn't get you anywhere. So I'm not saying you have to cut out those people if they're your friends, but you might want to steer the conversation in a better direction, or say, well, you know what? Dues or no dues, this is where I am today. I'm proud of my art. Something could change on a dime tomorrow, and introduce those kinds of new ideas to these potentially toxic people who are dragging you down. So examine who you hang out with at the coffee shop and talk shop with, because not everybody is as interested in success as you think, or at least as interested in your success. Some people just want to bitch and moan, and that's no way to run a railroad if you want to get out of that negative space and see some positive things happen in your life. My last tip is super annoying, and I can't believe I'm even going to say this, but it really works. Eat right and exercise. You need to have some endorphins flowing. You need to sweat. You need to get out of the house. You need to walk around the block. You need to eat vegetables. I know when you're feeling depressed and negative, it's really tempting to say, no, I just need comfort food. But after you have the big grilled cheese and fries, you're probably going to feel pretty crappy, and then that just fuels the anxiety and depression and negativity. So go to the gym, buy some broccoli. I know that's super annoying, and I never listen to it when I'm feeling depressed, but when I start feeling a little better for some other reason, I automatically eat better and treat my body better. So why wait? Do it now. So those are my 4 tips for overcoming negativity. Change happens on a dime. Look at other people's success stories. Examine any toxic relationships that are bringing you down. And eat right and exercise. Okay, see you next time.